it's somewhat hard to categorize The Housemaid into a specific movie genre. Going into The Housemaid, I had initially assumed that this movie was some sort of romantic comedy of sorts, albeit with a slightly darker tone, given the ominous face of Sydney Sweeney on the movie advertising. And with a title like The Housemaid, you might very well be expecting some sort of romantic comedy as well, about a housewife battling a housemaid for the attention and devotion of the housewife's husband. Initially, it seems like this was the main plot of The Housemaid, but everything is not necessarily as it first appears in The Housemaid. If I was to compare The Housemaid to other movies, I would actually say The Housemaid is most similar to classic Alfred Hitchcock movies rather than to a romantic comedy. The Housemaid evokes memories of cinema of an older time, a time when movies were made for entertainment and to impress audiences with its story. And I would classify The Housemaid not as a romantic comedy, because this certainly isn't a comedy movie. It's what I would call a romantic thriller or a mystery drama. And it's because The Housemaid is a mystery movie, I'm not going to reveal any spoilers about this movie, because The Housemaid is an on the edge of your seat thriller, and revealing spoilers would certainly hurt your experience of The Housemaid. What I can say is that after having watched over 1,000 movies in my lifetime, The Housemaid earns the distinct honor of being one of the most unique and fresh movies I have ever watched. The Housemaid is an excellent movie, a movie that is far better than anyone might expect a holiday 2025 movie about a housemaid living with a married couple would ordinarily be expected to be. The Housemaid is greater than its script would ordinarily allow it to be, and this is largely thanks to the incredibly sharp direction from director Paul Feig, as well as outstanding acting from its three leads, Sydney Sweeney, Amanda Seyfried, and Brendan Sklenar. Sydney Sweeney, in particular, stood out to me as the most outstanding actress of this movie. Everything about Sydney feels authentic and natural, as can be exemplified in Sydney's other works such as Christie and Euphoria. Sydney Sweeney once again delivers a performance that is arguably the best of her career. A lot of the success and or failure of this film rested on Sydney Sweeney's shoulders, and Sydney Sweeney managed to remain cool and authentic and deliver an understated natural performance under the weight of that pressure. Sydney Sweeney is an incredibly talented actress, and definitely more than a pretty face, and pretty something else. A lot rested on Amanda Seyfried's shoulders as well, and Amanda Seyfried managed to portray an erratic and unpredictable housewife in one of the most impressive and nuanced acting performances I have ever seen. What is surprising is none of these women were nominated for a Golden Globe. Maybe it's because Sydney Sweeney has been mistaken for already having Golden Globes. But to be serious, the Golden Globes and movie awards ceremonies in general these days are a woke joke. So if you are looking for the most unfiltered and unbiased movie commentary, then feel welcome to like this video and subscribe to my channel. Anyhow, likening The Housemaid to a Hitchcock movie is a fitting comparison, albeit this Hitchcock-type movie, The Housemaid, feels fresh and lacks the old tropes that make older classic movies feel stale and outdated. So yeah, The Housemaid is not black and white, and it feels very modern, at least in regard to cinematography, music, and editing. The Housemaid is certainly not modern in any other sense, because this movie is not woke, no joke, and it ain't some sort of disastrous DEI poorly made mess either. The script is sharp, the acting is strong, and the directing, pacing, and editing is some of the best I've ever seen in any movie. The Housemaid is overall an outstanding movie, and definitely one of the best movies of 2025, and frankly, a movie that deserves multiple Oscar nominations. But given the fact that Sydney Sweeney is considered a tad controversial, I wouldn't be surprised if The Housemaid is nominated for nothing. So yeah, Once again, awards mean nothing in 2025. So instead, go ahead and reward good quality cinema with your dollars. Because this film definitely is at the upper echelons of cinema and feels like something that could have been made in 2007 or the 90s. Because The Housemaid doesn't feel like a movie with a political agenda. It's high quality cinema, and it does what great movies are supposed to do: tell great stories. A reviewer I greatly respect, The Critical Drinker, recently stated that woke is dying, and a movie like The Housemaid and a few other movies I've seen this year certainly make me believe that this may well be the case. Woke is on the way out, and I hope this is so. Hollywood has lost too much money, in part because of the pandemic, in part because of the rise of streaming, but also in large part because I think people have woken up. They realize that Disney have become a bunch of largely incompetent political thespians, and that award ceremonies have become DEI diversity celebrations rather than testimonies to great cinematic storytelling, as what they were once known for. Anyhow, awards can lie, but what usually doesn't lie as much is money. So feel free to support this movie by checking it out. And please support this channel if you enjoyed this review. And thank you. I hope to see you later. My Avatar review is coming out shortly. Subscribe and like if you want to stay tuned. See ya.